How's it going, YouTube? This is Skul, and welcome to my video showing off this book, which just released, The Switch Collector Volume 2 by Jeff Wittenhagen. So you might remember a few years ago, I made a video showing off the first book, which covered the first year of the Nintendo Switch's life. This is the second book, which only covers the first half of the Switch's second year. It is the second year was so big that they had to split the year up into two different volumes. This is the first one, volume 2 total. Volume 3 is a very long ways away from being finished up and stuff. But let me tell you, I am a huge fan of the Nintendo Switch, and I am very excited to have this in my hands. And this is an absolutely monster of a book. It's like a college textbook or a Bible or something like that. It's so huge and thick, and it looks so good. And this comes in a hardcover slipcase. So as you can see there. And now for the book itself, which, I mean, the front looks pretty much identical, except it has the byline there. It comes with these nice little bookmarks. The pages are silver, they're glittery, glossy, they're beautiful. And then there's a blurb on the back if you want to pause the video and take a look at that. That's absolutely awesome. I'm so happy that I own this book for more reasons than one. There, look, I just opened it up. Just like the first book, I am in this book as well. You can go ahead and pause the video and read this if you want. I've recorded this in 4K 60, so it should be as crystal clear as possible if you want to get all that. But yeah, there's me. There's a whole lot of my games. In fact, most of these I don't even own anymore. I ended up selling a whole lot of my Switch collection. Not all of it, in fact, not even most of it. I still have half of the games that I used to have, which is still over 250 games. But at my peak, I owned like 400 games, and I was like 20 games away from finishing year 2, which sounds like a lot, but trust me, it's not. Year 2 was so big in terms of games released, which is part of why this had to be split up into 2 volumes. And let me tell you, I'm excited to finally pop this open and take a proper look at it. I'm not going to do as in-depth of a view as I did during my first book review, but I'm still going to go ahead and skim through the pages. I mean, first of all, look at that art. Just absolutely gorgeous art there. We got Shantae, we got Dragon Ball stuff, we got Captain Toad, Mega Man, Sans, Kirby, Sonic, Lunk, Minecraft, Donkey Kong, Crash, someone I don't know. So yeah, just look at the artwork in this. One of the greatest things that I was looking forward to with this book was seeing the artwork, and man, this did not disappoint. I'm pretty sure this is artwork from Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, which released in 2018. Nintendo's done a pretty good job of releasing a Zelda game every single year since the Switch released. They've announced that Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be delayed until next year, so 2022 currently doesn't have a Zelda game, but I'm sure they'll find something to throw on there. Anyway, The Switch Collector Volume 2, March 2018 to October 2018. 6 months, basically, of Switch releases. That just shows how big of a deal the year 2 was. Year 2 had more games, had like more than twice as many games as year 1 did. It was crazy. So yeah, just, I mean, take a look at this art. If you're a fan of the Switch like I am, then this is for you. Like I said, I'm not going to actually take an in-depth look at everything, but man, look at this art. I can't get over the art, and all of this art is original to this book. They got artists to make this, just to make it so nice and pretty, and yeah. So anyway, we're starting off. The very first game of 2018 was Scribblenauts Showdown. Really? Well, I know the last one of the first year was Payday 2, so yeah, I guess this makes sense. But yeah, this is a good overview of how games are presented. You've got a nice little blurb up here showing off, you know, who the publisher was, the developer, the release date, if it's possible to be played in handheld, tabletop, TV. If it supports internet connection, it does not. And then here, you can put little stickers or use check marks or whatever for yourself as a collector to determine whether you have it in your collection without having to go to your shelf and check it out. Human Fall Flat. Yeah, I remember that. This was the very first limited print Switch game. I remember when this was announced. I was in the airport, and I was so worried that this was going to sell out before I could get a copy. Luckily, I did get a copy. But yeah, Super Rare Games. They debuted, they showed up with Human Fall Flat. That was their very first video game that they published physically. And man, there's literally hundreds of limited releases now on the Switch. I mean, March 9th, 2018, so that was just over 4 years ago. Now we've got hundreds, maybe literally 300 limited print games now across all the different, actually it's more than 300 now that I think about it, but you get what I'm talking about. It all started with Human Fall Flat, and it came with a collector's edition too. Kirby All-Star Allies. I remember playing this and actually enjoying it quite a bit. I never finished it, but I do remember enjoying it. Don't worry, that's not the sound of things ripping, it's just, this is so hot off the press, the pages are still stuck together, so that's what you're hearing. Attack on Titan 2, for some reason that became a really valuable game. Like, I ended up selling my copy for over $100 last year. I don't know why it became popular. Maybe it's just because it's Attack on Titan, or maybe the game's actually good, I don't remember. Atelier, Lidy, and Sway, and I know I butchered that, I'm sorry. I've heard that the Atelier series is actually pretty awesome. I've got to check that out sometime. Penny Punching Princess, that's a nice little dungeon crawler. Look at, and yeah, I'm sorry, getting a little distracted here. You can see here, if there was a collector's edition of any kind, then the book tries to tell you what it is. Like, this book is supposed to be the definitive book for Switch collectors. Like, it tells you what games were released, what year they were released, what day, and collector's editions that were available, etc. Just very, very handy for people who collect video games. Wild Guns Reloaded. I seem to recall this was actually a GameStop exclusive when it first released. And funny enough, I think that the inside back cover had a misprint on it. It was a cover, the inside cover for an M-rated Switch game that was an Amazon exclusive. I remember that. Yeah. Oh yeah, Labo. Who can forget Labo? Nintendo did, apparently, so I'm not going to bother focusing on this too much. I never actually made any Labo myself, but I did buy all of them. So if I ever want to, I guess I could. Darkest Dungeon. Look at that huge collector's edition. That's crazy. Yeah, so, and here, this little blurb says, the Ancestral Edition of the Switch includes all the DLC content for free, which is a nice bonus for those who want more. This consists of the Crimson Court, Shieldbreaker, Color of Madness, and the Musketeer. So it tells you everything about... this book tries to tell you everything that it can about games. Galgun 2, this is the game that I was thinking of. That was in the back of the Wild Guns, or the Wild Arms Reloaded game. That was a very hilarious blunder. Max Curse of the Brotherhood. Was this just a re-release of a PS2 game, something like that? I don't know. Right around this time period is when third parties finally started supporting the Switch by porting over decades-old games. But they all ended up selling really well, which gave the Switch the support it needed for better games to come around very soon after. South Park: The Fractured But Whole. I've heard that's actually, I know the game is good. Like, I've played the PS4 version, but I've heard the Switch version is actually really good, so, props to Ubisoft for giving the Switch the support that so many other developers don't. Aqua Moto Racing Utopia, Snow Moto Racing Freedom, basically two versions of the same game, one focusing on water, the other focusing on snow. I remember when this first released, there was a giveaway that if you bought both versions, you could be entered into a giveaway for a vacation. I wonder whatever happened to that. Cube Creator. I think this is a Japanese exclusive game. I don't remember this ever releasing in the United States. So, yeah, that's interesting. Urban Trial Underground. I feel like I remember that at some point. Right around here is where all the games start to blend together, and it's hard for me to remember the differences between them. Flame in the Flood, Super Rare Games, number 2. They had 5,000 copies available. If it says out now, order at Super Rare Games, okay, I guarantee anything prior to like number, I don't know what they're up to now, but like anything from a month ago or earlier, I guarantee is all sold out. So all these games, long gone, so sorry about that, and they are not cheap either. Gem Smashers, I don't know anything about. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Right around here is where Nintendo was like, you know what, let's just start porting our Wii U games, which they're still doing to this day. Even, they're running out of Wii U games, but here we are. But for what it's worth, this is a very good port of a very good game. Shantae Half Genie Hero, the only Shantae game to get a retail release. I really wish that LRG would just give all the other ones retail releases, but, you know, money. But this is a great game. This was my very first Shantae game that I played, and I approve. Very good, very good. I have the Day 1 edition as well. One Piece, which was an exclusive to everywhere except the United States, basically. Hello Kitty Cruisers. I remember this, when it released on Switch, was like the most expensive Wii U game at the time, or close to it. So when it got the Switch release, suddenly the Wii U version plummeted in price. Battle Chasers Night War, don't remember much about. Super Chariot, Little Nightmares, don't know anything about those. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. I played the Wii U version, so no need for me to play the Switch version, but I did enjoy it. I enjoyed Age of Calamity a whole lot more, but I think that this is still a competent game. And since this is like one of the big releases of 2018, you're going to see this big 4-page fold-out, including a beautiful poster here. Now, I think this is actually an official poster, not fan art, but yeah, we got some nice art and a big write-up, way bigger than most of the other games. Definitely deserves it. Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2. I remember this. I'm pretty sure Legacy Collection came on cart, and you had to have a download code for Collection 2, which was really stupid. Capcom being Capcom. I'm just going to try and skip through these here. Now, Runner 3, Fallen Legion, Harvest Moon. I have a friend who really loves this game. Owlboy, it's pretty cool. I was actually sent a review copy by Sedesco, which was awesome of them. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. If you're a Street Fighter fan, you probably liked this, or maybe not, I don't know. Yesterday Origins, I don't know if I've ever heard of that before now, actually. Wait, yes I have. Happy Birthdays was actually like a super fun, like definitely not like a for adults game, but it's a super fun little cute game. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, it's a fighting game. I think I played it for like 5 minutes and then remembered, oh yeah, I don't know how to play fighting games. Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn, oh yeah, now we're talking. Legend of K Anniversary, which is like a re-release of a 2005 PS2 title, but I've heard the Switch version's actually really well done. Sushi Striker, The Way of Sushido. You guys remember this game? Nintendo themselves published this game, and then just, I guess, forgot about it like a year later. Like, this is the cheapest AAA game on the Switch. You can get it for like 15-20 bucks, I think. For what it's worth, I did enjoy this. This was the very first game Nintendo sent me a review copy of, which was awesome. They don't do that anymore. Lego The Incredibles, what's to say, Lego games are always good. Firefighters, a simulation. Pretty sure that was a digital-only release. I was waiting forever. Okay, I was waiting forever for the, no, this wasn't a digital-only release. This was a European release. But there was an ESRB physical edition announced for this and a lot of other UIG games. They just never got released. As far as we know, like, they were announced and then they just forgot about them. And I remember that really bugging me, because like Firefight, like all of these from UIG, I was like, when are these going to get an ESRB release for my collection? And they never did. They were on my notes for over 2 years before I finally gave up on them and just removed them. It was so stupid. Lost Child, don't know anything about that, unfortunately. Is that a VN? That might be a visual novel. No, well, actually it's hard to tell. It's a role-playing game, okay. Musinx, it's a fun rhythm game. I actually enjoyed this one a lot. SteamWorld Dig 2 for people who like SteamWorld Dig. Yoku's Island Express, I don't know anything about it, although I do think this was like the farthest I got caught up in my games from like the beginning to the present. Like this was the closest I got to catching up. Nah, it was a little closer than that. I did get Yonder. Minecraft, the Switch version is awesome. I played this for many hours, and I'm not a Minecraft guy. Ooh, review by Nintendo Life, that's cool. Thimbleweed Park. This was the very first release from Limited Run Games. I remember it so well. I ended up buying 3 copies. Not for myself. I bought one for myself, I bought a collector's edition for a friend, and I bought another collector's edition that was supposed to be for another friend, but they bailed and never sent me the money, so I just resold that one. I swear I didn't buy it just to resell it. I don't know what that means. Vegas Party. I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to try and skip through these. Mario Tennis Aces. Fun Mario game, fun Mario Tennis game, just kind of shallow, kind of simple. Brawl Out. Ease 8, this is actually a beautiful game, and on the Switch, it's kind of hard to believe the Switch can make graphics look this good, honestly. De Blob, don't know much about. MotoGP. Crash Bandicoot. I remember picking this up on release day and playing it, had a whole lot of fun. As somebody who never played Crash on PS1, I just missed out. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you. I just didn't play it on PS1, so this is my first time playing the classic Crash games, and the Switch port is awesome. Dimension Drive, the very first release from East Asia Soft. And I gotta tell you, I am, well, first of all, full disclosure, I am employed by EAS now. I stream games for them 3 days a week on their Twitch at twitch.tv/EastAsiaSoft. So they do send me physical games for their limited releases. That being said, I probably would have a complete collection anyway. Their games are always top-notch, perfect. They deserve to have physical releases, unlike a lot of the other limited print companies, and they don't release them every single week. They do, I think, one a month on average, maybe even less. All I know is that I probably would have kept up with the EAS releases even if they didn't send me them for free, but since they do, it made it a little easier, I guess. But anyway, it all started with Dimension Drive, and as of the time I'm recording this, I actually just got my package containing my physical releases for Love Esquire and The Letter, which is awesome. So, yeah, how far they've come. They're up to like 23 now that they've released physically, and another 3 that are available for pre-order. It's awesome. Wolfenstein 2, this is another one of those. You need a, oh wait, no it's not. There is a cartridge, but most of it you have to download. Hotel Transylvania 3, I think this was the first movie tie-in? No, it was the second. The first was Cars 3. This was the second movie tie-in game on the Switch, as hard as that is to believe. Unless there was something else I'm just not remembering. Hunting Simulator, saw that in bargain bins. RBI 18, saw that in bargain bins. Shining Resonance Refrain, I've heard that's fun. Ocean Horn, I remember this very well. And this was distributed by Limited Run Games. They didn't have a numbered release, it was distributed, and I'm kind of annoyed that they still do that. But this is a fun little game. This is basically a Zelda clone, with its own take and spin. It's really, really nice. I just like it a lot. It has its charm. Shelter Generations from SRG, Captain Toad, basically just a port of the Wii U game, and from what I've heard, the Switch version is actually inferior, so yeah. Octopath Traveler, super fun. This was the first Square Enix exclusive, Switch exclusive. It's since been ported to other systems when released. It was only available on the Switch, and I loved this a lot. This is a great role-playing game. I just realized it says genre up there, so I guess I could flip back and see what the other one was, whatever. So, oh man, I cannot recommend this enough. If you're a fan of Square Enix RPGs, cannot recommend Octopath Traveler enough. And I did get the collector's edition. That is like a beautiful, like a book sort of a case. Sonic Mania Plus, what's to say? Best Sonic game ever made. Fight me. Adventure Time, know nothing about it. Toho Ginso Wonderbird Reloaded. That might have been one of the last games I got, actually. Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2. You had to download 2, as stupid as it is. I've heard that's pretty faithful port, though. And then you had to import Rockman Anniversary Collection 2 if you wanted to own 2 physically. Thanks, Capcom. Go Vacation. It's pretty similar to Wii Sports. It's not identical, but it's very, very fun. Hello Neighbor, and then Hello Neighbor 2 was released eventually. Coda Princess EX, this is a fun action role-playing game. I like that a lot. Flashback, it's just a port of the classic game from 25 years ago. Titan Quest, I don't know if I had that one. Overcooked 2, great party game, whole lot of fun. Play this with friends. It's way more fun with friends. Okami. Oh man, one of the best games on the PS2, and it gets a tremendous port on the Switch. Definitely worth it. Even if the only way to get it physically is if you import it from Asia. Penguin Wars. That was a fun little game. After I said I wouldn't dabble on every single game, you know, and we still have so many more pages to go. You know what? I'm gonna go a little fast and only stop on games I have something to say about, which is not any of these so far. Voez, it's a great rhythm game. I cannot recommend that enough. It's beautiful. It's a whole lot of fun. Really easy to pick up. You're gonna like that a lot. Some more LRG games here. Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. I got that for free from Super Rare Games back when they sent me stuff to review, till they realized, hey, no one watches this guy's channel, we gotta stop. And yeah, that is, I think, at last I checked, that was the most expensive game that they released. Little Dragon's Cafe, super adorable game, super adorable. Is it deep? No, but I like it a lot. Saturday Morning RPG, of course LRG's very first game, but their 5th that they released on Switch. Oh yeah, and we've got these nice little bookmarks. We got a red and a blue. Actually, it's more like a pink. But yeah, these are awesome bookmarks for the Switch Collector's Book. God Wars, not to be confused with God of War. NBA 2K19. I don't know why they even bother. Another SRG game. SNK Heroines. Great fighting game featuring the girls from SNK, which is awesome. Labo 3 and Labo 4. Oh, they didn't release 4 yet. Okay. Labyrinth of Refrain. I vaguely remember something about that. Undertale. What's to say? If you like Undertale, you'll like the Switch version. And right about here is where they start putting shovelware onto the Switch. I mean, we've seen shovelware up till now, but like Legendary Fishing, I pretty much call that the point where, okay, the Switch is a shovelware machine now. Oh yeah, and you'll notice how many of these were released in September of that year. So many. I remember like September and October especially just being just so chock full of games. Torna of the Golden Country, great DLC for Xenoblade 2, and it actually has its own cartridge, so yeah, if you want to own the DLC by itself, you can totally get it. Slime Sand from LRG, FIFA 19, soccer's not a real sport anyway, give it up, EA. Valkyria Chronicles 4, great game. Gianna Sisters, underrated. I know it's been getting more and more love lately, but it really is underrated. Of course, gotta have Night Trap from LRG. 25 years after Howard Lincoln said, Night Trap will never appear on a Nintendo system, you can now own it physically, and I still have my copy. RXN Raijin from EAS, a great shoot-'em-up game. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Just skipping ahead here till I find something else. Oh wait, that was it. So, wait. Yeah, I guess the final game released in North America was this one, Namco Museum Arcade Pack, which doesn't just have Pac-Man, it actually has a whole ton of games, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so if you like classic arcade games and you can find that for cheap, I actually do recommend it. Yeah, and then there's this whole section for games that don't play in English. I remember some of these. I'm sure some of them are worth playing if you can understand other languages, but as much as I am beginning to learn Japanese, ego ga hanesmasu, I do not know enough, especially written, in order to do that. And then we got Eshop Exclusives, which we'd like to see get a physical release in the future. I guess I can just skim through that. I gotta leave some stuff for you guys, right? There's a whole lot of digital games that we'd like to see get a physical someday. In fact, I think some of these have announced physicals already. They just couldn't update the book in time. Lost but not forgotten, things we missed. So, they forgot to mention Rocket League in the first book, which was published January 16. I remember that, because that was my very first time playing Rocket League, was buying the Switch physical and trying that out. And you know what? It's a fun game. I haven't played it since, but I actually did enjoy playing it. And then Pinball FX3 was a digital release from the previous year. So, yeah, we got some blurbs from the limited print companies. So awesome. So yeah, and then we got the community contributors, and I'm going to leave most of those alone. Just going to show you my contribution again. Again, pause it, read it if you want. If you want to read all the others, and I recommend you do, then go ahead and buy the book for yourself. And we got some beautiful, beautiful art here in the back. And then Kickstarter Book Backers Club. I'm in here somewhere. I wouldn't have a clue where. But, yeah. So, yeah, everyone, that was my read-through of The Switch Collector Volume 2. I'm very much looking forward to Volume 3. I'm very happy that I'm able to add this book to my shelf right alongside the first one. Even though I don't collect hardcore for the Switch anymore, it's been fun. The Switch is a great system. I'm so glad that it's getting the support it deserves. And I can't wait to see the next book and what the future of the Switch itself brings. I'm predicting it now, and we can come back to this video in the future to see if I'm right. I'm predicting that the Switch will, in the end, have over 2,500 games, which is the number of physical games that the PS2 had. I'm predicting the Switch will have more than that, and I am predicting that it will outsell the PS2 in terms of units sold. I guess we'll see if I'm right. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and all that stuff. I have an Instagram now, which I haven't been promoting very much, but the link to that's in the description. Yeah, and a link to buy the book as well if you want a copy for yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.